All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today we are pulling back the curtain on comedy itself. We're going to get into the science, the structure, really the secrets behind what actually makes us laugh.
So, have you ever watched a great comedy duo and just wondered, how do they do that? What makes them click? Is it just, I don't know, magic? Pure chemistry? Well, what if I told you it's not magic at all? What if there's a blueprint, a detailed, centuries-old formula for engineering the perfect joke?
So, yeah, let's dive right in. We're going to be looking at an art form that is literally dedicated to crafting laughter. It's called相声, and honestly, it's a masterclass in comedic timing, structure, and delivery. Okay, so the name itself, 相声, it literally translates to face in sound. Makes sense, right? It's all about the performance. But what's really interesting is that the art form actually evolved from an older practice that meant mimicking people. And over time, it grew into this really sophisticated comedic style, all built on a very specific set of skills designed for one thing: to make an audience laugh.
Now, you can have a solo performer, sure, but the most common, the most beloved format of xiangsheng, that involves two performers. And listen, they aren't just two people up there telling jokes. No, they play these very specific, totally complementary roles.
And this is what's so fascinating. It's this balance of power. On one side, you've got the Jogin, who we'd call the Joker. This is your main storyteller, the one driving the whole thing forward and landing most of the punchlines. But then, on the other side, you have the Pengen, the straight man. Their job is to react, to question, and basically to act as the voice of the audience. And in doing so, they actually make the Joker's jokes that much funnier.
Yeah, and this all leads to a core belief in xiangsheng, and it's captured in this one incredible saying: 30% teasing, 70% supporting. Think about that. It means that even though the Joker gets all the glory, it's the straight man's job. Supporting the joke, controlling the rhythm, setting the Joker up for success. That's actually considered the harder and, honestly, the more crucial role.
So how do they actually do it? How do they build the comedy right there on stage? Well, it all comes down to mastering four fundamental skills. You can think of it as like the comedian's essential toolkit.
These four are the absolute building blocks for every single performance. You've got shuo, which is saying, shui, or mimicking, do, which is teasing, and cheng, or singing. Every single routine is built using these four pillars. So let's break that down a little. Saying, that's all about masterful delivery. We're talking clear narration, maybe some crazy rapid-fire tongue twisters. Then mimicking. This is where performers really show off their range, imitating everything from different dialects to opera, you name it. Singing is pretty straightforward, usually comedic parodies. But the real heart of it all, that's teasing. This is the actual art of crafting the humor and setting up those big laughs.
And you know what? All of this work, especially that teasing skill, it all serves one single goal: delivering the baofu. Now, this term literally means bundle or package, which is such a great metaphor. The comedian spends the whole routine carefully tying the bundle, right? Setting up the joke, building the tension, and then, at the perfect moment, they untie it with a punchline that just releases everything in this huge burst of laughter. It's brilliant.
Okay. But a great performance isn't just, a random collection of these skills and punchlines thrown together. Not at all. It's meticulously assembled. It follows a precise four-part structure. It really is a blueprint for laughter.
So, every single routine follows this exact path. It starts with the downhua, the opener, which is all about grabbing the audience's attention right away. Then you move into the ruhor, which introduces the main topic. The bulk of the comedy, all the good stuff, happens in the zhenghar, the main act. And then it all builds to the zandir, the big finale.
Honestly, you can think of it just like a really well-written essay. You've got your introduction, your main body, and then your conclusion. This whole structure is designed to methodically build momentum, to draw you in deeper and deeper, until the whole thing ends with one final massive punchline that just brings the house down.
And get this, the performers bring these stories to life with incredibly simple props. But don't let that simplicity fool you. In the right hands, a folding fan isn't just a fan. Nope, it's a scholar's pen, it's a weapon, it's even a sound effect. A handkerchief can instantly become a new character.
And a single table, that table becomes the entire set.
So, with all this history and this really rigid structure, you might be thinking, okay, this sounds like a museum piece, but you'd be totally wrong. This art form is so alive and it's constantly evolving, especially in Taiwan, where you've got several troupes just pushing the boundaries of what Shangseng can be.
Yeah, like take Comedian's Workshop. These guys are famous for using black humor and really sharp satire to take on modern social and political issues. It's edgy stuff. Then you've got the Taipei Crosstalk troupe. They're all about striking a balance. Their whole mission is to preserve the traditional roots of the art, while at the same time creating brand new, totally innovative works.
And check this out, the Wu Zhao Nan Crosstalk and Comic Theater. They take a really unique approach. They actually blend xiangseng with elements from totally different disciplines, like traditional Chinese opera and modern theater, to create something completely new.
And then, bringing it right into the 21st century, you have the Shaolin Show. This is a new generation group. They're infusing their shows with improv, they're interacting directly with the crowd, and they're all over social media, connecting with a much younger audience.
So, when you boil it all down, the whole anatomy of this incredible comedic art form really rests on three core pillars. First, you have the duo, that essential joker and straight man dynamic. Then, the skills, saying, mimicking, teasing, and saying. And finally, the structure, that deliberate four-part journey from the opener all the way to the finale.
But look, this isn't just about one specific art form. This is a universal lesson in comedy. It shows us that the absolute best jokes, they aren't just these random bolts of lightning, these moments of genius. No, they are carefully constructed, they are perfectly balanced, and they are delivered with incredible skill. So the next time you find yourself laughing at a joke, I want you to look a little closer, because now that you know the blueprint, can you see the structure of a perfect joke hiding in plain sight?